In the United States, when observing the Utah National Park via satellite imagery, a unique phenomenon of blue coloration becomes apparent. Upon closer examination, this view reveals a stunning spectacle, an array of blue, yellow, and green hues comprising a total of 23 ponds. These bodies of water are significantly enhancing the scenic beauty of the location. In reality, the true purpose behind this occurrence is even more fascinating. To comprehend these beautiful blue ponds, we must journey 1,500 years into the past, back when humans first discovered a unique chemical element with the aid of bonfire. Yes, the very same bonfires that people kindled during the cold seasons to keep themselves warm. The process is quite simple, involving igniting a few wooden pieces. However, this time, the purpose is not to generate heat, but to create an aqueous solution intended for the subsequent stage, known as the ash. We will introduce some water in this ash, as it contains several chemical components. Yet, when water is added, a reaction occurs, resulting in a peculiar coloration of the liquid, owing to the dissolution of compounds. Now, we will filter this water and set it out in the sun to dry. As the water evaporates, distinctive crystals will form in the residue. These crystals constitute a chemical element that humans have been using for centuries. Because this ash is produced using a pot and crafted into a solution, it has been aptly named potash. In earlier times, people employed potash to make soap, dye textiles, and even in the production of glass products. With the burgeoning population, the demand for potash surged. By 1788, there were thousands of factories dedicated to potash production. These factories primarily burned wood, specifically for the purpose of collecting ash. In the year 1790, an inventor named Samuel Hopkins revolutionized potash production by introducing a new method. Instead of drying potash solution in the sunlight, it was now baked in kilns. This innovative approach significantly reduced the time required for potash production. This became the first patent in American history, signed by the first American president, George Washington. This patent greatly increased the value of potash, initiating diverse scientific experiments. Among these experiments, one proved to be world-changing. Humphrey Davy, a scientist, unearthed a new element, but what was its name? Since it was derived from potash, Davy named it potassium. Yes, potassium. Following Humphrey Davy's discovery, potassium or potash was utilized to create numerous items. However, the primary challenge lay in the negative environmental impact of potash manufacturing. Post Davy's discovery, it continued to be produced by burning wood for several years. The escalating demand led to a point where the entirety of Europe and the United States began depleting their forests, posing a significant threat to the environment. Then, in 1861, Germany discovered a new source for potash production. This resource wasn't found just anywhere, but within a specific type of stone, which Germany possessed in abundance. This German discovery proved highly beneficial. This method not only made potash production cost-effective, but also led to the conservation of trees. It was noted that when potash was thrown on the ground, it accelerated crop growth, requiring less water. In a short span, Germany became the primary exporter of potash. In 1910, just 4 years before World War I, when the world heavily depended on German potash, Germany halted its potash exports. This decision was taken since the world had become reliant on German potash, and it demonstrated Germany's first step towards imposing export restrictions. Germany's attack caused the most significant damage to the United States. This was the time when the U.S. Congress allocated funds to discover domestic sources of potash in America. One of these locations was near Moab City in Utah. However, the challenge was that the potash deposits reached 3,500 feet below the surface, not on the surface itself. Initially, the US established proper mines and started extracting potash stones from 3,500 feet below. But then, in 1963, an incident changed everything. A Canadian company discovered a new method of extracting potash from the ground. They dug a shaft in Utah, going 3,500 feet deep, and introduced pressurized water into it. The potash deposits mixed with this water and were then lifted up through another shaft, filling up a pond. This is the same evaporation pond that we see today in various colors. Copper sulfate is added to the water to turn it blue. The blue color attracts sunlight and speeds up evaporation. Solar heat operates on these ponds, activating the precipitation process. These ponds undergo color transformations from blue to green and then yellow as water levels decrease, ultimately leaving behind white crystalline potash in the collection ponds. This potash is loaded onto trucks and transported to the White Crystals plant. Potash has been a practical resource for humans for centuries and remains a major earning source. According to estimates, beneath the city of Moab, there are around 2 billion tons of potash underground, which could potentially generate around $660 billion for the US alone. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to Wonderful Stories. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next amazing video.